Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Sonic Music Releases, the series where I talk about and cover physically released Sonic music from over the years. So, if you were not around or weren't in the know at the time, Sonic's 20th anniversary was a pretty big deal. There were things happening all over the place. In fact, one of the most strange that I remember is actually a TV program called Sonic Generations of Skate, promoting Sonic Generations, but it was like a skating competition or something. It was really weird. It was barely Sonic related at all. After one commercial break, they asked some of the skaters about Sonic, and I don't know, it was weird. Anyway, 2011, the year this was all happening, was a big year for Sonic in general, and that carried over into Sonic's music releases. There were not only these, but there was also the Sonic 1 and 2 soundtrack, which was finally released after, 20 years. There was, of course, the Sonic Generations soundtrack itself, and there were also these two History of the Stage soundtracks, which I'll talk about in a future episode. These were actually pack-in pre-order bonuses if you pre-ordered either version of the game in Japan. But most of the soundtrack release, or the other half, because that was kind of half of them, were these 20th anniversary editions of certain game soundtracks. We have Sonic Adventure, Adventure 2, Heroes, CD, and this History of Sonic music, which is obviously not from a game, but a compilation. So to save myself some redundancies in this episode, I'm going to say right now they were all published by Wavemaster Entertainment, and they were all distributed by Avex Marketing. All of them except the History of Sonic music retailed for 2,400 Japanese yen, or roughly $21 by today's standards. The History of Sonic music, however, retailed for 3,500 Japanese yen, or roughly $31. And they were, of course, all released in Japan. Now, with that said, let's jump into the very first release of these, Sonic Adventure Original Soundtrack 20th Anniversary Edition, which was released on May 18th, 2011, kicking off all of these special releases. This was basically a best-of selection of the Adventure soundtrack, as most of these songs are, or as most of these soundtracks are to their respective games. It only contains 30 tracks compared to Digilog Conversation's 69, nice meme number, so less than half of the original soundtrack that it has. So very clear that it's a best of, and the only vocal themes that are on here are It Doesn't Matter and Open Your Heart. None of the other ones made it in. So taking a look at the art, you can see that all of them have this header at the top, this 20th Anniversary Edition header with the 20th Anniversary logo and specifying what it is, making them all look pretty uniform. I think it looks nice. The cover itself is very simple compared to like the other ones. It's just this Sonic art in front of this blue and white background, and then the Sonic Adventure logo down there. You can see through the spine that it says the title down the side. That's a nice touch. All of them have that. You can see that they even spliced the art. If you flip it over, it continues onto the other side. Nice touch. Track list right there. I probably already threw it up on the screen, but whatever. Sonic Team logo, licensed by Sega, and all the legal info right there. Now let's take a look at the inside. The obi itself would sit on it like this. Nothing too fancy, this obi. Very, very simple, actually. Blue with orange going down the middle, just says the name of it, and the only graphic on here is the 20th anniversary logo. So yeah, pretty standard in terms of obis. Nothing flashy, but it doesn't need to be flashy. Taking the booklet out, you can see that they actually didn't make them just look boring. They actually put a lot of cool art into these, especially when I get to the CD one, I'll tell you about that. Track list and production notes, all the lyrics for It Doesn't Matter. More production notes. Angel Island sinking and Knuckles in the background. The Egg Carrier with Eggman. I don't want to flip by him too fast. And then Chaos Zero with Perfect Chaos in the background. And then I think these are interviews with some cool Sonic DX art in the back. Pretty cool looking. Oh yeah, and the back is just this very standard but nice looking, just completely black with the white 20th anniversary logo. I think they all look like that. So moving on to the disc itself, I think for most of them they were going for this very simple look. You might have noticed from like my past Sonic music releases episodes, the discs are usually very simple, and you can totally see that here. It's just the 20th anniversary Sonic soundtrack text up here with some legal info and a just flat Sonic Adventure logo on a blue disc. But you know what? I think it looks really good. Taking it out, you can see the original Adventure logo right there and the tray and some notes too. It might be a little hard to see on camera, but so in terms of what this one is worth, I'd say anywhere from 20 to 30 bucks. It's not really changed since it has been released, but I would recommend picking it up sooner rather than later because you never know when they're going to disappear. And I'll say this for all of them, or I'll just say it right now, this applies to all of them. No bootlegs of any of these have been made, so there you go. Moving right along to the Sonic Adventure 2 20th Anniversary Edition original soundtrack. This was released June 22nd, 2011, which was a day right before Sonic's birthday, of course in Japan. Again, a best of selection of Sonic Adventure 2's soundtrack. It contains, again, 30 tracks of multi-dimensional 60, so like literally half of it. I really like the cover art for this one. Like I almost wish it didn't have this header and we could just see it and like it would say original soundtrack. I mean, I know it makes them all look uniform, but I don't know, I think it'd look really cool. I like how they use this graphic of, you know, Sonic and Shadow in front of this like blue and red background, which was the original cover art for the game, because we never saw a soundtrack use it, just the game. Again, text down the spine, and the back is very plain looking. Like this is just a red square with the text in it. Maybe it could have been a little more flashy back here, but oh, whatever. Opening it up, you see the Obi. Literally the exact same thing as the Adventure one, just red, and it says Sonic Adventure 2 instead of Sonic Adventure. Would sit on it like so. And now looking at the booklet, of course we just talked about this design on the back. It is the same design as the Adventure one, just with the changed catalog number. That corresponds. Opening it up, we have this really cool art of Sonic. Next page has Tails and Robotnik. One after here, Knuckles and Rouge, and then Shadow gets his own right over here. I believe the only vocal themes on this one are, let's see here actually. Escape from the City, It Doesn't Matter, Live and Learn, and Shadow's theme, Throw It All Away. Yeah, I think those are the only ones that made it on here. And then the interview page uses that really cool CG art of all the characters. I'm assuming these are interviews. That's, I hope. I know the CD one has interviews, so I think that's what those are. And then the disc is exactly the same as the Adventure one, just with the swapped logo, of course, and now it's red. I think this looks really cool, though. So this one has actually gone up in value just a little bit. It's I'd say it's worth anywhere from 35 to 50. Again, no bootleg, but that's about what it's worth. Some people might ask more. Moving on to the Heroes soundtrack. This was released August 24th, 2011. Again, best of... Ooh, I forgot the back had the emblem on that. That looks really cool. This has 30 tracks compared to Complete Trinity's 50, so a little more than half. Cover art is... I think this was actually... Wasn't this the PAL Heroes box art? Which I always thought looked nicer than the American one. Sonic Heroes logo down here, cool art, and these stripes back here. Again, that's how the box art looked. Turning it around is, I recognize this blurred image back here. I think this was used on one of the trays from before. But anyway, yeah, this really cool Heroes emblem right here, and then the track list, which I will throw on the screen. This is actually the only 20th anniversary edition to have, yeah, it looks like they have all of the vocal themes. So that's pretty cool. So the Obi is now light blue for this release, would sit on it just like so. So, you know, if they had all the Obis on their spine, they would all look orange and very plain and uniform. Taking a look at the booklet itself, opening it up, we have art of Team Sonic, and then, yeah, art for Team Rose, art for Team Dark and Team Chaotix, and then in the very last page we have this cool outline of Metal Sonic turning into Metal Overlord or whatever, and then some interviews. Yeah, pretty standard stuff at this point. And again, the disc, this one is really just the Sonic Adventure one, but lighter blue, and of course has the Heroes logo on it. Nothing too fancy. and then the disc has the background of the PAL box art without the characters on it, which actually looks really nice. Okay, and that leads us to one of the more interesting releases, the Sonic the Hedgehog CD original soundtrack 20th Anniversary Edition. The reason why this is interesting is because Sonic CD never actually got an official soundtrack in Japan. You'd think with a game that was marketing its CD quality sound, they would have, made a soundtrack for it, but it just didn't happen. And that's really strange, but we finally got it, just, 19 years later. So this was released November 23rd, 2011, and it's the only complete original soundtrack of Sonic CD's Japanese music. We did get the Sonic the Hedgehog Boom CD in America, which had, can't remember if it had all or most of the American music of CD, but yeah, this is the only release that had the Japanese one. It's got all the different songs. I'll put a scan of that up on screen. Got all the different mixes for the songs. This one has a total of 42, which is more than all of those, and it even includes the studio version of Sonic Boom done by Crush 40 and Cash Cash, which originally was done at Sonic Boom The Event 2011, and since then I was like, oh my god, when are they going to do a studio version of that? And then they finally did for this release. I say finally as if it was really far apart, but Sonic Boom 2011 and the release date of this soundtrack were actually just, a few months in between. Sonic Boom was in June and this came out in November. So yeah, it's good that we got a studio version because it's just very cool that they would cover that. I wish they would do more stuff like that. Anyway, the cover is, I believe that's the I want to say that's the Japanese box art. I can't actually remember. Either way, it's really cool looking. Metal Sonic and Sonic duking it out. Again, text down the side, and the back is actually the coolest back that we've seen so far. I think this is actually the coolest soundtrack we've seen so far because it's so unique compared to the other stuff. They're going for a green theme for this release, so the obi is green on the side, orange in the middle, like always. Boring stuff at this point. However, the booklet is actually pretty interesting. We open it up and whoa! Instantly we have character. It looks different immediately compared to the other stuff. I love this CD design. I just love the design from the CD era and stuff. It looks really cool. Look, an original sketch by Naoto Oshima. Isn't that neat? Game screenshots, track list. Creating the game music was a challenge in 1993. Sonic CD was challenging in many ways. I'm proud to see this soundtrack released. Congratulations on making it possible. And then I think that's Oshima's signature. Very cool. Some Metal Sonic art, some interviews right here, track list, screenshots, and Cosmic Eternity lyrics. I think those Sonic Boom lyrics were, yeah, the Sonic You Can Do Anything lyrics, and then doesn't this also include Sonic Boom, even though it's the, oh no, oh yeah, it's one of the bonus tracks. So if flipping it all the way back here, bonus track Sonic Boom, Stardust Speedway, from Generations, the Cash Cash versus Jun Senoi, and then of course the Sonic Boom cover by Crush 40 and Cash Cash. And right here is actually the only interview in any of these that's in English. It's Alex McLoof. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but him. It's an interview of him for this, which is really cool that they would interview him because he was, he worked on the cover and the cover of Sonic Boom and the cover of Stardust Speedway. So then that's the disc. Again, green. I think it actually fits very well. And then the Sonic CD logo down here. And then taking it off, we have the same logo right there, obscured by the thing that holds the disc in place. And yeah. Honestly, if you were to get any of these releases, the 20th Anniversary Edition releases, I would recommend this one and the next one I'm about to talk about. Oh, but yeah, it's worth about $20 to $35, about the same, hasn't really gone up since it was retail. Which leads us to the final release of the 20th Anniversary Edition CDs, History of Sonic Music 20th Anniversary Edition. It's funny that they say edition because there was never any other release called History of Sonic Music. This is the only one. This was released December 7th, 2011, so at the very end of the year. This is a vast collection of Sonic music from Sonic 1 all the way up to Sonic Colors. Of course, that was the most recent game because Generations had just gotten announced, and that had its own soundtrack, so it didn't need its place on here. Okay, so taking a look at the front, this is actually... I really don't like this cover art. It's just very... I don't know, it feels very bland to me. I feel like they could have used something much cooler. Like, take a look at the back. They could have used that art on the cover. I think that would have looked way better. But anyway, there's the track list. I'll throw the track list up on screen as a scan. Yeah, it's got music from all over, you know, all over Sonic's games. Most of the mainstream ones, but some ones off to the side, like Sonic Rivals and Riders and Sonic Advance and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. So opening it up, we can actually see that it's a 2-disc set. Whoa, look at that. But we'll look at the discs in a second. Again, the Obi and the booklet have the same uniform look to it. There's the Obi sitting on it, orange on the side. And if we open the booklet, I can't actually remember. Oh, totally forgot this one came with stickers. Dude, check it out. We haven't seen stickers come with, well, the Passion and Pride one came with stickers, but anyway, we have the 20th, I don't know what you want to call that, the 20th art with Sonic in the capsule. Look what's on the back, though. Code to get the Hero Chow statue in Sonic Generations. Of course, all the codes leaked online like the day the game came out, so it doesn't really matter anymore, but it is cool how they would do something like that. And then, of course, we have the emblem that's on the front and the 20th anniversary logo. Totally forgot this thing came with stickers. It's really cool to see. Check those out. But anyway, taking a look at the booklet, this one actually looks really neat. It's got this classic Sonic art, the iconic one, but all these original character design sketches in the back. Of course, with the track list everywhere. Then Adventure Sonic art with character design sketches in the back of him. Everything in the back ranges from either soundtracks or game box art, which is pretty cool. Oh look, some Sonic 4 art. Remember when that game was a thing? Yeah, me neither. What's next? Some more box art in the back. This one just looks like box art. Or no, there's still some soundtracks in there. Like the Complete Trinity one and stuff. Cool art of Sonic and his friends. There's Big Boy! Oh, dude, look, Ring's my favorite. Oh, and then the villains! I'm surprised they actually put Jet there. Who cares about him, right? And then, oh, would you look at that? How sweet. Little progression of Sonic through the years. Very nice. And then the discs, of course, just say History of Sonic Music 20th Anniversary Edition with the 20th Anniversary logo, Disc 1, and then Disc 2, which is the same exact thing but inverted. And the tray has this really cool design with all the Chaos Emeralds on it, so that's something. So I'd say this one is worth anywhere from $35 to $55. It's gone up a little bit since it was released. And it can be a little bit harder to find, but I wouldn't pay any more than that for it. Those are the releases that came from Sonic's 20th anniversary. It's a shame that the 25th anniversary only got the one soundtrack release, but I guess that's a little easier on my wallet, honestly. It's really cool having all of these, especially because they all look so uniform and they belong on the shelf together. All the spines are exactly the same look, just different color. So, thank you for watching another episode of Sonic Music Releases, and I'll catch you in the next one.